Hi everyone, this is Megan here with process video number 14, and I've got a bunch of supplies here that I want to use. I'm doing pinks and black and white for this layout. So I've gathered up pretty much everything from this kit that I put together that I think will go with the layout and the picture that I have picked out, which is a picture of my niece while we were getting ready for my wedding. This was taken on my wedding day. So I know these two pieces of paper are the main ones that I want to use for the background, and I'm not quite sure how yet. So first off, I'm going to just map my photo on this pink glitter paper. Just cut it down a tad bit so that it would fit on there, because that was from a 6x6" paper pad. And yeah, the tape gun doesn't stick very well to the glitter paper, so I have to keep sticking it back down. And I like this piece of pink paper, and I want to somehow incorporate the circle that's in the middle. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out the inner part of the circle. I used my the X-Acto knife. Sorry, it's kind of late right now and I'm having a little trouble finding my words, but I used the X-Acto knife to get it started, and then I find it easier to cut with my scissors, so I just finished cutting the rest of that circle with my scissors. And I'm going to put this black paper with the white polka dots in behind there. So I'm just marking where I need it to be cut so it will fit behind that circle. And I'm going to go ahead and tape that down. Now this video gets kind of choppy. I think I have it split up into like 4 different sections because I kept getting interrupted, and excuse me, also I did some stitching on here and I didn't think everybody wanted to sit and watch that, so I kind of cut that out a little bit. I have this cut apart from one of the papers in my kit, and it says, "Today is a good day to be happy." And I just trimmed that down a little bit so it would be the same height as the photo. And I'm going to find a piece of paper to mat that on. I use this piece of pink polka dot paper. It's also from a different 6x6 paper pack. And I'm not really quite sure where I'm going to go from here. So I'm looking at the picture and the cut apart card and seeing what I might be able to do. I know that I want them kind of right beside each other, so I go ahead and tape them together so I'm working with one big piece instead of 2 smaller ones. And I had to refill my tape gun, so I cut out there for a minute and came back with my tape gun filled up. And I'm using this pink and white baker's twine, and I have this gigantic needle. It came in a pack of needles that I got back when I was doing some quilting and stuff. And I used the giant needle to poke the holes because I do not have a paper piercer. And I use a smaller needle to thread the baker's twine in and out of. And I'm going to go all the way around that circle where the pink paper meets the black and white paper. And I decide that I want the stitching to go over the top of the photo and the cut apart sheet paper. So this is a little bit difficult for me. I had a really hard time deciding if I wanted to poke through this picture. I decided that I would go ahead and do it. I was being brave, and I just figured that if I really hated it, I could always just reprint the picture. So I went for it, and I stitched right through the photo. I'm just putting a little piece of washi tape on the back to hold that in place. And I do show you just a little bit of me going around a couple times, and then I turn the camera off and come back with it all finished. So there's what that looks like. And now I'm going to go ahead and see what else I can do for embellishing. I'm going through all my small pieces of scraps and strips and things to see what I can get used up. I'm going to use this piece actually in this is a die cut, and I'm going to use it in 3 different places actually. I cut it in half and do a little bit sticking out on each side of the layout. And I really liked the way that ended up looking. So it has been 4 days, I think, since I've posted my last video, and I really wanted to do more than that, but I don't know why I was thinking that I would be able to get so much done this summer with my oldest boy home from school, and also I have a 15-month-old baby, and my son is going to be 8 in a couple weeks, so I'm also planning his birthday party. And I am just not able to get as much scrapping as I thought I would, or even, not that I don't want to, but it's hard for me to spend the day in the craft room when the weather is so beautiful outside and we want to be, you know, at the beach or outside making the memories. So I just figure I'll catch up on the scrapbooking when he goes back to school in the fall. So I just took a bunch of strips of paper, different colors, a lot of them that I used to mat the photos and stuff, and overlapped them and layered them up on that top right hand corner. And I'm cutting around this tulip, and I'm going to do the same thing in the bottom with the strips of paper with the pink and black and white, cutting the strips and laying them down, overlapping each other. So, as I was saying, I really like getting a video posted every other day, but being realistic, I don't think it's going to happen. I am going to try at least to get a couple up a week, and if I can get more than that done, then that would be wonderful, but at least I'm not stressing out trying to get one up every other day or, you know, so close together, because it's just getting harder for me the more we get into the summer and planning, you know, spending the day at the beach and taking the kids places and visiting. And okay, so for right now I'm cutting out some of the white flowers from that scrap of paper, and now I am going ahead and getting that bottom left hand corner situated the way I want it, getting some strips taped down there and everything. I really liked the way this layout turned out in the end. I get to a point, I think, where I'm not quite sure what else I'm going to do, and I decide that I have been using a little bit more mixed media here and there, and that's what I have decided to do here. I've got some black paint I just went and mixed with a tiny bit of water, and I'm covering up my photo, and I put a little piece of paper behind to protect my desk, and I'm putting some splatters on, going from the top right hand side down diagonal across to the bottom left. And the more and more that I've been playing around with doing splatters and just adding a little bit of paint here and there, I'm really loving it. And it's funny because I didn't think that I would. I always watched everybody else's videos and thought, oh, that looks really good. I like it when they do it, but I don't think that I'll do it on my scrapbook layouts. And here I am trying it out and just loving it. So I'm thinking about putting some sort of a title down in the right hand corner, and I decide not to, so I take that back up and I figure out where I want to put the flowers down, and I start taping all of the flowers down. And I didn't put it in this kit, but I went and found some of my stickers that I recently got, and I had a haul video up a couple weeks ago, and so I found that sticker booklet right there with they're meant to go over the top of photos. I think they're clear, so you can only see the black part. And I use a couple of those to add some more embellishments in the corners. I'm just going to look through and find which ones I like. This one says just perfect. I thought maybe afterwards that it was supposed to be kind of sarcastic, like, oh, that's just perfect. But I actually used it in a literal sense because it was my wedding day, so it was just perfect, and I loved it. I loved this photo of my niece. I think we were getting our hair done at the same time. My mom did my hair, and my sister did her daughter's hair, and it was a lot of fun. And then I put another little heart sticker down here in this left-hand corner. I put some pink stars around, and I think that pretty much wraps it up. Oh, I decided that I needed something in the other corners. I do remember this. So I take first I look through that sticker sheet, and I just can't find a sticker that I think looks good, or I don't want to add too many of the same style stickers on there, so what I end up doing instead is some journaling down at the bottom, and I just outline that kind of corner and then the rounded part of the circle. And I do that on the top and the bottom, and my marker ran out, so I grabbed another one. And on the top, I think I put the date. Yep, there I'm putting the date, and a couple of hearts. And down at the bottom is where I write my journaling. And I like that a lot better, with a little bit more filled in. And I didn't put a title on here. I just figured that the cut apart card that I use says today is a good day to be happy. It's pretty much my title. So that is my layout for today, and I'll show you some close-ups of the embellishment clusters at the top and bottom. I don't have them here in this photo, but I did add a couple of hearts into the middle of the layout. So that's what I have for you today. Thanks so much for watching. Bye!